My name is Costantine Magavilla, and I'm a published author, motivational speaker, entrepreneur, and investor. I would like to introduce you to 4 tips on personal finance that can take you on a pathway to greater peace of mind, even under the most challenging of circumstances. To begin with, why is financial planning so important? Finances are the economic lifeline of a human being. Having control and predictability on your finances goes a long way in giving you a sense of peace of mind. Like businesses have long-term goals that depend on the achievement of shorter-term goals, so do we as human beings. And hence, planning for our finances forms a large part of us fulfilling not only our lifetime goals, but also achieving a greater sense of peace of mind. So what to do? Budgeting. A budget is a financial expression of your plan, and it can apply to any plan, including your life plan. To build your budget, you need to take log of all your expenses and prioritize them in terms of needs and wants, where your needs are the things or items you're obligated to cover, while your wants are your desires that you're not necessarily obligated to cover. So for example, your needs could be bills you pay every month, whereas your wants could be travel expenses or entertainment for leisure, etc. Your budget has to take into consideration your immediate commitments, like the expenses you have to cover on a regular basis, but also has to provide for your longer term goals or requirements. For example, building a home, retirement, and even investment. How do we do this? Saving and sticking to your budget. Incomes may vary from person to person, but we almost will always need the same thing: financing for our needs and wants. Before preparing your budget, you first off need to establish your norm, your average income, bearing in mind that the challenge is not just getting money, but rather keeping money. Saving needs a lot of discipline and you accepting your norm and sticking to it, even in the face of windfalls and erratic income. Saving requires that we sometimes reduce our expenditure by either cutting out excesses or reducing the costs of some of the items that we regularly consume. For example, instead of shopping at a supermarket where you can pay for things at a premium price because they're branded and packaged, you can shop at a nearby neighborhood grocery store where you can save up to 20% just simply by buying from this alternative channel. That would help you save and avail money for other activities. The greatest source of motivation to save and stick to your budget is to set goals for the money you want to save and to lock it away. Savings can also avail you funds for investments that can help you boost your normalized income. So what are the consequences of not saving? We all love control and predictability in our lives and finances, but we are almost all prone to unforeseen events. Savings and budgeting helps us to regain control, at least even under these circumstances when we come across unforeseen events in our lives. Debt is what we assume to give us cover when we don't have sufficient funds. But not sticking to your budget and the lack of saving will almost always expose you to bad debt, debt that does not add value, and consequently exposes you to additional burden that may erode on your longer term commitments. For example, you may partake in leisure activities or entertainment activities that result into debt that you consequently will have to cover, that will affect your ability to pay bills. So the entertainment and leisure activities are wants, but then you might compromise your ability to cover your needs, which are bills and other things that you have to cover. So debt is only good, yet again, if you have control over your budget and your funds. As a result, the one and most important thing that you need to take into consideration when you're considering your financial planning is discipline. Self-discipline that is born out of consistent structuring and revisitation of how you approach your finances, continuously checking and assessing what you are putting your money into, where you're buying things from, and what you need versus what you want, so you can ensure that you build a plan that reflects your basic requirements but protects your longer term requirements, which ultimately may come about at a time when you don't have the ability to earn or generate an income. Like, for example, when you've retired.